ನಿಟ್ಟೆ ಮೀನಾಕ್ಷಿ ತಾಂತ್ರಿಕ ಮಹಾವಿದ್ಯಾಲಯದಲ್ಲಿ ಆಯೋಜಿತಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ಪ್ರತಿಷ್ಠಿತ ರಾಷ್ಟ್ರಮಟ್ಟದ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಉತ್ಸವ ಅನಾದ್ಯಂತ 2025ರಂದು ಉದ್ಘಾಟಿಸಿ ಮಾತನಾಡಿದ ನೋಕಿಯಾ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೆಟ್ವರ್ಕ್ನ ನಿರ್ದೇಶಕಿ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಶ್ರೀ ಪೊನ್ನಿ ಕೃಷ್ಣಮೂರ್ತಿರವರು, ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಉತ್ಸವಗಳು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದರಲ್ಲೂ ತಂತ್ರಜ್ಞಾನದ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳಲ್ಲಿ ಆತ್ಮವಿಶ್ವಾಸದ ಸಂವರ್ಧನೆಗೆ ಹಾಗೂ ಸಬಲೀಕರಣಕ್ಕೆ ನೆರವಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಏಕೆಂದರೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಅವರೇ ಪಾತ್ರಧಾರಿಗಳು ಮತ್ತು ಸಂಘಟಕರು. ಇಂದಿನ 20-25ರ ಹರೆಯದ ಯುವಜನರನ್ನು ನಾವು ಝೆಡ್ ತಲೆಮಾರಿಗೆ ಸೇರಿದವರು ಎಂದು ಗುರುತಿಸುತ್ತೇವೆ ಎಂದು ತಿಳಿಸಿದರು. ಮತ್ತು ಗೌರವಾನ್ವಿತ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳಾಗಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದ ದಕ್ಷಿಣ ಭಾರತೀಯ ಚಿತ್ರರಂಗದ ಪ್ರಸಿದ್ಧ ನಟಿ ಹಾಗೂ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರೀಯ ನೃತ್ಯ ಕಲಾವಿದೆ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಲಕ್ಷ್ಮೀ ಗೋಪಾಲಸ್ವಾಮಿರವರು ಮಾತನಾಡಿ, ಕಾಲೇಜು ಶಿಕ್ಷಣ ಮುಗಿದ ಮೇಲೆ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ನಿಜವಾದ ಜಗತ್ತನ್ನು ಪ್ರವೇಶಿಸಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತದೆ. ಈ ತೆರನ ಸಾಂಸ್ಕೃತಿಕ ಉತ್ಸವಗಳು ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಸ್ವಭಾವಗಳನ್ನು ಸಕಾರಾತ್ಮಕವಾಗಿ ಬೆಳೆಸಿಕೊಳ್ಳುವಲ್ಲಿ ಮಹತ್ವದ ಪಾತ್ರ ವಹಿಸುತ್ತದೆ ಎಂದರು. ಮುಖ್ಯ ಅತಿಥಿಗಳನ್ನು ಸ್ವಾಗತ ಮಾಡಿದ ಪ್ರಾಂಶುಪಾಲರಾದ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎಚ್.ಸಿ. ನಾಗರಾಜ್ರವರು, ಅಧ್ಯಕ್ಷತೆ ವಹಿಸಿದ ಆಡಳಿತಾಧಿಕಾರಿ ಸನ್ಮಾನ್ಯ ರೋಹಿತ್ ಪೂಂಜಾರವರು, ಕಾರ್ಯಕ್ರಮದಲ್ಲಿ ಭಾಗವಹಿಸಿದ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಸಂದೀಪ್ ಶಾಸ್ತ್ರಿ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಜೆ. ಸುಧೀರ್ ರೆಡ್ಡಿ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹಿತಾ ಡಿ. ಶೆಟ್ಟಿ, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಎ.ಸಿ. ರಾಮಚಂದ್ರ, ಗೀಕ್ ಮೆಹಮ್ನ ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಬಿ.ಡಿ. ಪರಮೇಶಾಚಾರಿ ಮತ್ತು ವಿಭಾಗಗಳ ಮುಖ್ಯಸ್ಥರು, ಶಿಕ್ಷಕ ವೃಂದ ಹಾಗೂ ವಿದ್ಯಾರ್ಥಿಗಳು ಸಮಾರಂಭದಲ್ಲಿ ಪಾಲ್ಗೊಂಡಿದ್ದರು.
The students out here to be a part of such a beautiful event, like sir said already, meaning eternal, the one that has no end or no beginning. So this is the best platform to nurture the next generation, in my opinion, and thanks to NMIT that you are really giving priority beyond the technical studies to actually nurture the cultural and co-curricular activities and non-curricular activities and skill developments among the students, because that is not just the lead of the hour, but it's the order of the hour going forward, because we need really students to be multi-talented in such a competitive world that we are living in. When we talk about the current student generation, we hear a typical complaint across all sections, all corners of society. If you take the current generation, in the first complaint of late I receive is they're always online. They're hooked on to mobile. They're way too casual. They don't carry the value system. And majority of these complaints are pinned on the underlying fact that they are always connected and always online. But the truth here is we have to understand this is a generation that never knew a world without internet. They cannot imagine a world without being connected. So that's why I would say, they are actually self-reliant, pragmatic, collaborative, socially conscious, and thriving to be the best with their own unique identities. By the way, I'm not saying this. This is said by a research by Stanford affiliated research. So let's put our hands together to give a big applaud for this current generation. So the generation Z, right? So if you go to generation Alpha, it's going one level above. So the fact is, the generation Z and the generation Alpha, this is a generation of students who have learned to think, learn and communicate in a world where information is at their fingertips. They have observed not just only their neighborhoods, their society, but the entire world sitting in their reading room. They don't need to travel, they don't need to know anything, but they can just sit in their room and understand the entire world. So there's nothing wrong in being hooked onto their mobiles, right? So for a generation that is in such a demanding society and a demanding industry, a mere technical education and the skill development is not enough. It is not sufficient. I truly believe that the academic corridors have to go beyond that, and not just the traditional ways of nurturing them, but we need to find every other means to develop the cultural aspect as well as the soft skills among them, right? So
never try to find out the adi, the source, the moola of your gurus. Never try to find fault with your gurus, because it is a knowledge stream, it is a flow, and as you keep glowing, as you keep growing, this flow continues and there is no anta. So thank you very much for inviting me here. Madam Ponni Krishnamurthy has made it very easy, because I was preparing all the way. I was thinking, what should I share? As she said, it's not advice, but what experiences can I share being on this side of the dais? Because every time when I see college students, it just doesn't feel very long that I was there, also enthusiastically taking part in all the extracurricular activities. In today's times, as she said, when we are all very connected to the net, and as an artist I can say also where we cannot do without the social media. It is, from my experience, it is very demanding now for us even to be emotionally aware about how we are perceiving information, what surfing the Insta accounts or surfing your social accounts or looking at comments, what it is doing to our mind, to the health of our mind. I'm not saying it's bad, because I have learned a lot looking at social media, but at the same time, hours can go away when we're surfing. And not only that, when there's already so much pressure in the outside world to succeed. Now again, this is questionable when we use the word succeed. What does that actually mean? Does it mean becoming famous, becoming acknowledged by society? Does it mean making a lot of money and getting a wonderful job? Does it mean actually trying to negotiate and find if what your core interests can actually become a job? And in that context, these wonderful cultural festivals are a wonderful, are a precious opportunity, because here you still don't have the pressure of the outside world. You're in a very sheltered, beautiful environment, and here I was actually very surprised to see such a thriving, beautiful campus. This is the first time I've come this side of town, actually. I'd not seen this whole road. I hadn't seen Bangalore grow in this direction. It's such a beautiful space. The vibe is so wonderful. And this is the time for you to try out. I wouldn't even say explore your talents, because I think many of you would have figured out by now what you're perhaps talented in.